Hey, welcome to Hanging Out on Monday night. I walked in here and these guys were talking about officiants. So that's the topic tonight, officiants. So let's start off with this, just for fun. How many of you have worked with officiants as a DJ doing something like a ceremony? Everybody except Matt. Matt's never done it. You've never worked with an officiant?
He doesn't do many weddings, I don't think.
Sure. Well, mobile guys, like most of us, ceremony is just kind of a thing that people expect you to offer as a service these days. Some people have special systems for it. Some people have the normal system they use, just a speaker and a microphone. What has your general experience been with working with officiants, Eric?
Officiants, God, I almost every wedding. I mean, it's not like years ago when I first started, they'd get married in a church and I'd be setting up at the ceremony,
Yeah.
And that whole part would be over with. Now I wait for them to get to the ceremony, and I would introduce them in. It's not like that anymore. Now you've got the officiant. It's the same room, and yeah.
The first time I did it was probably about 30 years ago, and it was in the only thing I played was the organ recessional and processional that was on DJ Tools Volume 1, the organ thing, So, it was Here Comes the Bride when she went down there, and then dun, 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 when she came back. That was the first time I ever did it. I thought, well, this is weird. They couldn't.
And then you rushed to the ceremony, right, when it was over.
Yeah, I was using my regular mobile system minus lights.
It's the reception, Eric, not the ceremony.
The reception, the reception spot.
Is that what I said? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Whatever. Yeah, I knew what you meant.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah. Whatever.
But now it's like a very, very, very common thing. And most of the officiants that I've worked with have been great. Sometimes it's a brand new person and this is their first time ever doing it because cousin Dave got ordained last Tuesday and now he's going to marry him and he has no idea what he's doing. That happens too.
Yeah.
But what's been your experience, buddy? How have you had anything unusual with officiants that you've encountered?
It's one of the things when you're dealing with weddings, especially as much as I do, it does amaze me. And when people don't have a ceremony, you're kind of like, you're not having a ceremony at just reception only. So it is the exact opposite than when we all first started. When it was, you want me to do your ceremony? Just a reception, right?
Like, you don't like church? What's going on here?
Yeah. Now it's like everyone wants to do places, because there's a lot of beautiful, events. I was talking before the wedding we did this past weekend, and it's on a little lake and stuff like that, and we were talking about how our officiants are different. The officiant this past weekend was the father of the groom. And, the big thing with anyone, I don't care that you're being Catholic as myself, be a full Catholic priest or a rabbi or a dad or uncle. We treat them all the same with respect, ask questions to make sure we're knowledgeable of what we need to know, where to start, where to end, how to do this, how to do that. Let them know, like when we do lapel microphones, I'm not turning your microphone on until this point here. I'm not turning on the groom's microphone until this point here. And that way they know, they're informed, and they know what to expect. But also, when you work with officiants, the big thing is that it's a two-way street. You had to give information, and you're asking information, and this way you share ideas, and this way you work things out, especially how are you going to end? Are you going to end traditionally?
That's the big question.
Or not?
What's the last thing you say?
That's the big question,
and
yes.
I run into people who want the Hollywood ending, when they have the music come up slowly, the last couple lines, you have the music coming in, especially like an instrumental kind of intro, and they want that Hollywood feel that, the camera's zooming in and stuff like that, and the music slowly coming in, and then you hear the music below with the officiants talking, and when it gets to the part that says, ladies and gentlemen, here they are, the couple, whatever way they end, people are clapping. The music is down for a second. When people start clapping, music starts ramping up, and they walk down the aisle. So they have the Hollywood ending to a movie, and it's working all that stuff out when you're pulling levers, you're turning knobs, you're doing whatever you need to do to make sure it's exactly what the couple wants to have. And that's a lot of communication with the couple, asking questions with them, walking through scenarios, and working with the officiant. And if you possibly you have the time, and you talk to the couple about it, if you can go to the rehearsal, that helps out a lot of times too. But even if you're not there to rehearsal, and all the times they want us to go to rehearsal, it's still communicating with the officiant in a clean and proper manner, and having everything organized, having everything written down, so you know exactly what you were told is going on, and you make sure you're on the same page as the officiant, because what the couple tells them and what the couple tells you can be totally different things. And that right there can create a lot of headaches. So when you work with them as much as I do, you get used to asking those questions.
What's cool is when Jay's not here, we have Buddy.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Who's next?
Typically, when I'm doing a wedding ceremony, it's pretty simple, and I don't mic up brides and grooms. Some people do. I don't. I don't mic up the newlyweds because it would just, one-handed, that'd be a little difficult, and logistically, I'd have to have a Tracy come in to help with the bride or brides, be it. The big question I ask the officiant is, what are you going to say? Do you end with kiss? Do you end with the introduction? And they tell me what they do, and that's about it. And I actually give them control of the microphone. I'm like, here's the button, push it, and you're on. I'll bring the music down when they get up there, and you push it when you're ready and go. So I let them control the microphone. How about you, Damon? When you're working with officiants, what kind of stuff are you doing?
Well, first of all, I'll tell them shut up and listen to me. No, I'm just playing.
As you should. As you should.
That's
listen, Padre, I'm in charge here.
And 15 other fathers.
That's the wedding coordinators that you say that.
No, that's a whole different story there. But no, I mean, I've worked with some really good ones. Like Buddy said, you talk to them, ask questions. Yeah. But for the most part, I talk to them like 10 minutes before it's time for them to go up there.
Yeah.
That way, whatever plan we have together is fresh in my head.
I'm the same way. I'm typically the same way.
Okay. And as far as I mic the groom and I mic the officiant. Those are the only two people get mic'd. I don't mic the bride. But the groom is wearing a lapel, and it is good enough. It can pick up both of them.
Yeah.
But their mic is on. I mean, I cut everything on, but my volume is off on the board. So that way I don't want them trying to fumble around with nothing, trying to flip a switch or anything like that. It's like, fresh pack of Energizer batteries in the microphones and the transmitter. I should be able to get 20 minutes, half an hour out of them with no problem, man.
You should get all day out of it.
But I'm just saying, it should be.
Yeah.
The ceremony shouldn't take no more than 20 minets. So
no. If it takes more than 20 minutes, it's Catholic.
Yeah, right.
And Buddy should have been doing it.
So at that moment, I'm like, I'm good for a half an hour with these fresh batteries, and I ain't got nothing to worry about. So
I saved K-Dog for last because he's ordained, right?
Yeah. He is.
Yeah.
He is.
How many people have you married?
What was that?
How many couples have you married?
I haven't done any.
Okay, but you're ready to go.
I got it because of this channel. When I started first observing and listening, I heard a certain someone. It's like, wow, really? You can do that. So then I dug into it, and I decided, you know what? That's just a safe thing to do to make sure that their day goes off with minimal hiccups. I mean, they lost their officiant either because he got sick or had an accident or something. So I can step in.
Yeah.
I bet that certain someone was Jay. Right?
Yes, it was. Kudos to Jay for doing that, and then it put me in the idea of like, hey, that's a smart thing to do. I like that idea.
It is. Yeah.
So I don't sell it as a trying to sell it as a service. I look at it as I want you to pick a family member or a friend or your clergy that you've had all your life and use them. I am sort of an in case of emergency break glass.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah,
it is.
And I would think that'd be a good selling point. Just say, hey, look, just so you know, I don't particularly want to be your officiant, but if something happens, I can be your officiant.
It's another way to present myself as, I have backup plans. I have backup plans for your officiant. I have backup speakers. I have backup mixers. I have backup computers. It's just all part of my cover my tush, program that I do. As far as dealing with the officiant, I first find out when I do my consultation with the bride, who is this? Is this someone that you drafted to get a license, And if I do, and they're having me at the rehearsal, I know that I'm going to have to take the lead as far as organizing them to get down the aisle and get into place and that. But if they tell me or the bride says, he's our preacher at the church, or...
Yeah, the guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's like, I know, Buddy, he likes to go ahead and give them 50 questions. I don't want to step on their toes. It's like, what, are you testing me? I don't want to be bitch slapped.
Am I on Jeopardy?
So it's like, I sort of then, if I'm going to the rehearsal, I sort of back off and just, okay, I'm playing the music.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one comes down. Okay, now the guys are coming down. So I always want to find out the last person in each of those groups for each of those songs. And then, as you guys have mentioned, what is the last thing they're going to say that I then pump up the music for them to exit? And
that's it. That's the main question.
And then at the end, after that, I was like, are you going to say a few words about releasing the guests, or are they having a receiving line? What are they supposed to do? Or do I need to do that? So I find out from them whether they're going to say something after everybody comes back down the aisle. I bring the volume down. They say a few words to let everybody know what's happening, or if someone's going to release each row. And if they're not, then I have to do it and do it accordingly. So I just I try to find out what everybody's going to say. And then actually ceremonies, for the most part, they're not really all that difficult.
No, it's like anything else. You can make it as simple or as complicated as you want.
I mean, you can subdivide like
do you? Good.
This song and that song, But no, they're not really difficult to organize.
So I'll say a couple of things real quick.
Hurry up!
Can I chime in after you're done?
No, because you've never done this.
No.
You said you don't know anything about it.
I've not technically worked with an officiant.
Okay. You got married once.
The bulk of the weddings that I've done,
time.
The couple gets married at the church, and then I just do the reception.
Right.
There's been one wedding that I did where it was an outdoor thing, and I was there for the ceremony, but I didn't actually do the ceremony.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was present.
You were there, but you weren't. Right. Sure.
Yeah, they didn't have any sound system or anything like that. They just, or music or anything like that. They just,
gotcha.
Yeah. So just to clarify, I have done my fair share of weddings.
No, absolutely. Just not.
I just haven't done the ones like you guys have.
It's a thing here. It's a thing in a lot of places. I'll pedal back. I've had a lot of clients in the last several years that have had me DJ their ceremony, and they had, like I say, Uncle Bob, Cousin Dave, their friend, Al, get ordained the week before, and they're going to marry him. They have no idea what they're doing. And what I started doing is offering, I call it ceremony directing services. So I could go in and help them out, kind of tell them how to line up, how to go down the aisle, what to say, where to look. Anybody who's doing it for the first time, you kind of tell them, look left, right, and center for your points. And yeah, they appreciate it. And I charge for it. It's the day before typically, and I'll go in and do it. But one thing I do want to ask, just for fun, for those of you who have done wedding ceremonies, do you have any interesting stories about somebody who screwed it up and you had to go in and help them out? Buddy does. Tell us your story, buddy.
Well, had two people who were standing up to the wedding pass out at the wedding. And Tracy was closer, so she came running over there and helped them off to the side real quick. First it was, I want to say a bridesmaid, then a groomsman. They locked their knees, and they just doubled over and passed out. And then she ran over because everybody stopped what's doing. And then there's a wedding we did actually in Wisconsin. We didn't do anything, but during the ceremony, we're at the Racine Airport, and there's a museum there. The groom, it's a pilot, small aircraft pilot, just general aviation, not commercial. And during the ceremony, the Wisconsin National Guard had a Chinook take off and came down the runway, hovering about 50 feet off the deck, and did a 180. And you can see the guy at the back of the ramp waving, and you can see the pilot and the co-pilot waving out of the windows, giving thumbs up. And the officiant goes, "Yes, that's a helicopter." I actually got video. I could share it with that later with you guys. But that right there was just some of the fun things you get into. But I've had weddings, just problems like people driving by because it's open area with songs with obscene words coming out in the song, and all you can do is like, I've had people walk through weddings. You try stopping them, and you're like, "Hey, hold on," and they're walking their dog. They don't care.
It's a public place. They don't care.
No, they're like, "No, this is my park. This is my area. I don't care. I'm gonna walk right through." And the officiant's like sitting there like. They're like right behind the officiant in front of everyone. Everybody's like looking like, who's this person with the dog? The dog's like all happy, like, hey, look at my friends. But it's crazy.
I've had this happen more than once, and it's been with both new and experienced officiants, where everyone, of course, please stand for the bride or whatever comes down, and then. Typically, the officiant will say, "Please be seated," and then we'll begin the ceremony. Now, if you are Catholic like Buddy, you do what the dude tells you to do. You wait until the dude gives you instructions to do stuff. So, if the officiant does not say, "Please be seated," guess what? Fools will stand. They will stay stood. And I have done so many weddings, I can think of, where the photographers will look at me like, I can't get any pictures. Everybody's standing around. So I have to
please be seated.
Lead down the aisle. Go ahead and sit down. Yeah. And people start sitting, but you're being a little disruptive, but not as disruptive as
Tracy and I have done that plenty of times. And a couple times she was in the background. And she's like waving her arms like she's trying to fly away to tell the officiant to sit down, everyone to sit down. But then I'm like, okay, let's just go down the aisle. We walk down the aisle. We're like, you can go ahead and sit. It's okay. It's fine. Then people start sitting down. They get the idea. But it's like. Even people who have been an officiant for many years, I've had, every religion you can think of, and they forgot it. It just it happens. Yeah. They're human.
I'm not ragging on them. I'm just saying that we've had to have your back. It's like.
And I don't know about you, Brian, and anyone else here, but I like to make the officiant shine. They're a very important person in that couple's day because they're the ones presiding over that wedding, but also the fact that they control what's happening. And the more support I can give them, the better off it is, and the more that they feel comfortable, the less they forget.
It's funny you say that because I'm thinking in my head, and I've been thinking this for many years. I'm not a religious guy, but I find it incredibly fascinating to talk to anyone who's a clergy of a church. And on a wedding day, I'm there providing a service just like they're providing a service. We're both there providing a service. And we're almost peers in that regard in the wedding industry, just for that day. And I've had some fascinating conversations with rabbis and Catholic priests and you name it. Just funny, like very candid conversations with these folks. I'm sure they're not talking to their flock like this, but they're talking to me like this, and it's pretty funny. I've heard some neat stories from these folks. But yeah, they're service, just like we are. It's kind of neat, you know. It's kind of neat where they have the same. I've found that the clergies have a lot of respect for us as DJs. We're just as much of a part of the day as they are. So
I believe that too. Yes.
But
they've got the same respect for you as you do them. You know?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, yes.
The ones who know what the experienced ones, anyway.
Right.
Would anybody else like to add anything before we wrap this up? Put a fork in it?
You know what? I think it's time for the fork.
Okay, let's do it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you have any experiences you'd like to share with us, you've had DJing for wedding ceremonies with officiants, or if you're an officiant yourself, tell us about it in the comment section.
And the advertisement.
And the sponsors. DJ Event Planner, once again, is our sponsor for the show. Check them out in the description.